welcome to Los Angeles, California. I'm your host, TV's Craig Ferguson. It is a great day for America. It's Friday. I love Friday. Thank God. We need more Fridays. Wednesday should be Friday as well. Put it on the ballot, I'll vote for it. As soon as I'm a legal immigrant, I'll vote for it. You know the real reason it is a great day is that because last night's audience is not here. I'm not kidding you. The studio audience last night were in a foul mood. They were frosty. Frosty. Bordering on hostile they were, weren't they? Well, they were like a bunch of surly, carny folks. You at home, you're always there for me, and thank you. Now, let's hope these fine people here tonight are on the right team. Let's just hope. That's all I'm saying. Because, you know, we can outsource the audiences to India. That's what's going to happen. We'll outsource, CBS will start outsourcing audiences. They'll come in from India. Then I won't be able to do any of my cow stuff. Look, after last night's show, the audience was kind of frosty. I went home in a bad mood. And I went straight to the refrigerator. You know when you're in a bad mood? I went to its comfort food, which in my case means a giant hunk of cheese. Cheese, yes, cheese! 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 Take that, Al-Qaeda! Cheese! That's right, cheese. It wasn't more like a hunk of cheese, it was more like a cheese log I had last night. Imagine a giant redwood tree has just been cut down and it's made entirely of cheddar. That's what I ate last night. I was very, you know, I was just... And I went to bed and, of course, I had a very weird dream. If I eat cheese before I go to sleep, I have very strange dreams. Now, I'm not going to tell you what it was, because I don't want to be one of those people that comes into the office and says, dude, I had the weirdest dream last night. It's annoying. And by the way, when someone tells you they've had a dream about you, it's a sexual come-on. It is. Whenever anyone says that to me, I always ask, was the dream dirty? And if the guy says no, I say, on your way. On your way. That's not a gay joke, because the guy says no, see? I am fascinated with dreams, though. I am. I read a lot of Carl Jung. His last book, Carl Jung, woo, cheese! Carl Jung, in his last book, Memories, Dreams and Reflections, it's kind of his autobiography. It came out in 1961, the year he died. It was a very popular book, number 3 bestseller on Amazon in 1961. Anyway, Jung writes about the first dream he remembers. He walked into a forest, and then underground, he walked underground, and underground he saw a giant penis. It's true. And he looks at it for a bit, and then he wakes up. Now, I'm not a dream analyst, but that is messed up. Now, who would believe a guy like that would go into psychotherapy? Who? Now, Carl Jung was sort of a disciple of Sigmund Freud, who is considered the father of psychoanalysis. I know what you're thinking, oh no, here we go, another late-night talk show host talking about Carl Jung and Sigmund Freud. Oh, it's so typical. But Freud... Maybe I should be doing airline peanuts. Freud, though... Freud must have been important because he was important in psychiatry because Tom Cruise hates him. Hard to gauge what that was about. Yes for Sigmund Freud, no for Tom Cruise. What was going on there? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, Jung and Freud were very popular in their day. They toured the United States, it's true. They did a big tour around here. They were like Simon and Garfunkel of their day, except, you know, they were both talented. And they... Oh, yeah, that's right, Art Garfunkel is great. Come on! It's time the truth was said. Where is he now, Art Garfunkel? He gets busted for pot once in 20 years, and that's his career. Anyway, Jung and Freud, they started off in the clubs, in the arenas, and then eventually Ozfest, and they argued a lot, Jung and Freud. They had a lot of, there was egos involved, super egos involved. Yes, that's a therapist joke. And Jung and Freud, they had a rift. It was a kind of teacher-pupil thing. Freud said that all neurosis was based on sexuality. And Jung said, no, it wasn't. In fact, he said, Sigmund, you're wrong, he said. Freud was basically a horn dog and Jung wasn't. See, you know, Jung was, you know, quite normal, except occasionally he dreamt about giant underground penises. And who hasn't? I mean, if dreaming about a giant underground penis makes you crazy, then lock me up and throw away the key. Lock me up! Jung and Freud, anyway, invented what's called the talking cure, which eventually led to psychoanalysis, which led to Dr. Phil. And the idea is that you can talk ourselves out of neurosis, like you're talking yourself out of a speeding ticket. Now, Freud was the guy who said there's a subconscious. He discovered the subconscious. It's the part of the brain that's always thinking about a tasty sandwich, sorry. Sorry, that was a bit of a Freudian penis. Oh, slip, sorry, Freudian slip. I'm so embarrassed. What's now called a bipolar disorder, these pioneers of psychoanalysis called hysteria. If a woman was crazy, they said she was hysterical. Now, for example, if you say Joan Rivers is hysterical, you would be delusional, you see? Things change over time. Therapists talk about denial as a bad thing. I actually think denial is a good thing. I think denial is you really need denial. I know you're thinking you don't, but that's because you're in denial. This is a true story. I once was going to a medical building. This is absolutely true. And I was stopped by a woman who said to me, "Excuse me, can you tell me where I can find a meeting for Codependents Anonymous?" And I said, "I could, but I think it's about time you found out for yourself." Sorry. Hi. Anyway, my dream last night, which I'm not going to tell you about, wasn't violent. But you know, back in the day, I used to have, you know, when I was... And I used to have some... When I got to sleep, yeah, you know, when I did snuff, back in the day, when I did dream, I had these horrible dreams, really intensely violent, surreal dreams, kind of like the paintings of Hieronymus Bosch. You know the 13th century Flemish painter? Yeah, of course you do. I know what you're thinking, not this again. Another late-night comedy show host talking about 13th century Flemish painters. Surely not. Oh, really? No, he did a painting, let's look at it. He did a painting called The Temptation of St. Anthony. That's what my dreams used to be like. See that there? It's horrible stuff going on in there. A guy's face turning into a duck and the flying boats and knives and, oh, it's awful, it's ghastly. Now, when Hieronymus Bosch, which that was not his real name, by the way. His name was like, I don't know, Dave Bosch or something. Anyway, he liked to be alone. What happened was, because this is the 13th century, he liked to be alone when he was working. He would go to his little shed in his garden in Belgium, and he would paint. And all he did was eat rye bread and drink beer. But the rye bread at the time, the mould would form, because he'd be there for days. Mould would form on the bread. And the mould on rye bread is exactly the same chemical makeup as LSD. Do you know that? It's absolutely true. That's what happens. But you can't do that now. Like, I tried it, you know, now. You can't go to a deli and get a rye bread and then wait for a month and like, whoa, I'm tripping. It doesn't happen. It doesn't work anymore. I did try it. It just made me violently ill. Do you ever have what they call the lucid dreams? Like, you're in a dream, but you kind of know that you're dreaming. And you realise that it's not quite right, but you know you're in a dream, but you still dream anyway. It's kind of weird, that, isn't it? It happened to me last night in the dream. All right, I'll tell you the dream. What was happening is I was playing poker with a giant sea creature. Like, I'm playing poker, and it was a giant squid. Giant 25-foot-high squid or something. I'm playing poker with it. And the squid said he had a royal flush. And that's when I realised I was dreaming, because that's never going to happen. Now, come on, the chances are astronomical. There are people at home now watching this show who are falling asleep. They're going like that, and they're starting to dream. If you're next to someone at home, and the person next to you is falling asleep, put their hand in a glass of warm water. Come on, it's fun, it's Friday night. I want to speak directly to the people who've just fallen asleep. I have something important to tell you. The squid is not bluffing. He has a royal flush. Fold! Fold, you fool! Let's get on with the show.